The Bully's Invitation, a storytelling video script for a USA audience, approximately 1,000 words hook. They called him a loser. They laughed at his second-hand shoes. They whispered behind his back every single day in the hallways of Jefferson High. And 10 years later, when they finally decided to invite him to the reunion, it wasn't out of kindness. It was to finish what they started. But life has a way of turning the tables on cruelty. And what happened the night Marcus Carter pulled up to that reunion would leave every single person in that room silent and changed forever. Subscribe out before we get into this story. If you love tales that remind you what it means to be human, stories about grace, grit, and the quiet power of kindness, make sure you subscribe to Heartfelt Moments, hit that like button, and drop a comment below, telling us what kindness means to you. Your words might just inspire someone today. Main story: Marcus Carter grew up in Clover Ridge, Ohio, a small town where everybody knew everybody, and gossip traveled faster than the wind. His dad worked 2 jobs after his mom passed away when Marcus was just 9 years old. They didn't have much. Marcus wore clothes from the church donation bin, ate free lunch at school, and walked 3 miles each way because they couldn't afford a bus pass. And the kids at Jefferson High noticed every single bit of it. Derek Holloway was the ringleader. Captain of the football team, son of the town's wealthiest car dealer, and absolutely certain that his comfort in life gave him the right to make others feel small. He and his crew, Brittany, Jason, and a rotating cast of followers, made Marcus's life a daily reminder that he didn't belong. They hid his backpack. They knocked his lunch tray out of his hands in front of the entire cafeteria. Once, on a cold January morning, Derek laughed and told the whole hallway that Marcus smelled like poverty. Marcus said nothing. He just picked up his books from the floor, adjusted his worn-out jacket, and kept walking. Because Marcus had learned something early in life. His father, a quiet and deeply dignified man named Raymond Carter, had told him, "Son, how people treat you is their character, how you respond is yours." So Marcus responded with silence, with focus, and with an unbreakable decision to build something better. He graduated high school quietly, earned a full scholarship to Ohio State, and dove into computer engineering with everything he had. Nobody from Clover Ridge really paid attention. Nobody sent a card. Nobody checked in. For 10 years, Marcus worked. He built a software company in Columbus with 2 friends he met in college. They started in a 1-bedroom apartment, living off ramen noodles and stubborn dreams. By year 4, they had their first $1 million contract. By year 7, they were on the cover of a regional business magazine. By year 10, Marcus Carter was worth more than every family in Clover Ridge combined. But he hadn't gone back. Not once. Then the invitation arrived. Jefferson High's 10-year reunion. And at the bottom of the evite, someone Derek had personally added a note. "Hey Marcus, heard you're doing okay, would love to catch up, no hard feelings, right?" Marcus read it 3 times. He knew exactly what it was. It was the same energy as every hallway taunt. It was curiosity wrapped in condescension. They wanted to see him. They wanted to compare. They wanted to know if the loser was still a loser. His first instinct was to ignore it. But then he thought about his father's words again. And he thought about something else his dad used to say. "Kindness isn't weakness, Marcus. It's the bravest thing a person can do." So Marcus RSVP'd. Yes. The reunion was held at the Clover Ridge Community Center, rented out and decorated with blue and gold streamers and a sad little photo slideshow running on a projector in the corner. People dressed up. They wore their best outfits and their shiniest versions of themselves, and they all waited to see who had done what with their lives. At 7:15 p.m., a sleek black Rolls Royce Ghost pulled into the parking lot. The chatter inside the community center died down as people pressed their faces against the windows. The driver stepped out first, walked around, and opened the rear door. And out stepped Marcus Carter wearing a perfectly tailored navy suit, calm as a Sunday morning, looking like he had absolutely nowhere more important to be. The room went quiet when he walked in. Derek Holloway stood near the punch bowl, and for the first time in his life, he didn't know what to say. But here's the thing, and this is the part that nobody expected. Marcus didn't gloat. He didn't make a speech. He didn't walk past Derek with his chin raised and his chest puffed out. He walked straight up to Derek, extended his hand, and said with a genuine smile, "Hey man, good to see you, hope life's been treating you well." Derek shook his hand, stunned into silence. Marcus spent that whole evening talking with people, asking about their kids, their jobs, their dreams. He bought a round of drinks for the entire room. When he found out that one of his old classmates, a quiet girl named Teresa, had been struggling to keep her small bakery open, He handed her his business card, and said quietly, "Call me Monday, I want to help." He wasn't there to prove anything. He was there because his father raised him to meet cruelty with grace, and to remember that hurt people, and healed people heal people. Before he left, Derek pulled him aside, voice low and unsteady. "Marcus, I'm sorry, for all of it, I'm genuinely sorry." Marcus looked at him for a long moment, then he nodded. "I know," he said. "Take care of yourself, Derek." And he walked back out to that Rolls Royce, under the Ohio stars, feeling lighter than he had in years. Closing the greatest revenge isn't success. It's becoming so full of kindness that bitterness can't find a place to live inside you anymore. Marcus didn't win that night because of the car, or the suit. He won because he chose grace when he could have chosen bitterness, and that choice said everything about who he was. Life will test you. People will underestimate you. But how you carry yourself through those moments, that's your story. Make it one worth telling. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs it today, and remember, on this channel, and in world, kindness always wins. Heartfelt Moments.